Hello and good morning. It is September 11th, 2020, and I have been in Facebook jail for 30 days, and I am now back with a vengeance. Okay? I am going to start this off, and this is not going to be pleasant. Okay? I am rabid with anger. Um, you are not allowed to hate specific things, okay, over Facebook. And it was basically an innocent, noxious post that I don't like this certain thing. Well, it's hate speech. Even if you do not post anything that says "I hate this," or you automatically get picked up by the algorithm and it blocks you for 30 days. So yeah, even if it's pudding or cake or apple pie, don't say you hate these things, because if you do, you're going to end up in the algorithm and 30 days. Now, I have had several things happen over the last 30 days, and we're going to start off with the deaths. Okay, there have been three of them. The first one is my step uncle, Steve. I wish to offer my condolences to the friends and family of him. Um, he was a very nice, generous man. He always did good things for people, he always tried to help people. So I want to send my condolences out to that one first. And I'm sorry, I'm an essential worker. So I cannot break away from what I'm doing to go to funerals or to go to gatherings or viewings, um, at risk that I may be contaminated with the coronavirus. So this is the reason why I have not gone to anybody's viewings or funerals, because if I go there, there are people who have major health issues and major health conditions, and I cannot just break away and go to these things like anyone would, like it's something you should do. I'm not going to put another person's life at risk. So that's your explanation of that. If you were wondering where I was or what I was doing, I am an essential worker and I have to do the job that I have to do. And I have to make sure that everyone is safe and protected who is around me, whether it's coworkers or whether it's other people from my friends and family. I have to be very careful with the company that I keep. So, unless you want to get potentially infected, because you don't know for 14 days. Every day I go to work, I have to come back and wonder, okay, 14 days from now, did I get sick because I went in today? So, yeah, that's what's going on. And my Bernie Sanders hair is kicked up today, so yeah, there we go. Bernie hair. um, ooh, geez. What I have left of hair is not behaving. Um, the second passing, which is my best friend's father, Leonard Pamela, um, I would like to wish his friends and family my deepest condolences. He will be missed. He was always a kind, generous individual. He was always there when you needed it. If you needed picked up somewhere, he'd come and get you in the car. Even if he was 80, at the age of 80, he would come and get you. And he would take you where you needed to go if you had to go somewhere. And he was always helpful to his neighbors. He was always helpful to the rest of his family. But I want to give my condolences to the friends and family. This was a very close death. It's almost like losing a parent myself. And I saw the pictures of the urn, and I saw the pictures that everyone else took, and I heard that there was a very beautiful um, reading by his uh, niece, I think, or granddaughter. Yeah, at the funeral. I can't remember which one it is, because trying to keep up with the people. You can barely tell what's going on, and it's like, all right. But I had to work that day. I was there from 12:30 to 9, and I could not go to the funeral. So I want to offer my deepest sympathies to the family and everything else. And the last one, another very close passing, the son of my best friend's mother, um, John Luderbaugh, passed as well. And my deepest condolences to that family and the friends that he had, all of the workers that worked with him through his muscular dystrophy and everything else. Um, I grew up with John Luderbaugh, so I want to say, I couldn't be there. I can't be there now because his mother is she's at risk of contracting the coronavirus, and me, I'm surrounded by it every day when I go to work. I'm pretty sure. Okay, even the management asks me when I'm at work, and they turn around and they go, "Have you been near anyone who might have the coronavirus?" And I just go, "So look around, dude. Look. What do you think?" And yeah, they take our temperatures and and everything else to make sure that we're safe, and ask us if we've been around anyone. And I'm like, dude, there's 10,000 people that traipse through here a day. What do you want? A cookie? We've probably been near the coronavirus. So have you. And yeah, so I can't put anybody at risk because every day, like I said, every day I go to work, as 14 days I have to worry that maybe I have this thing. Maybe I picked it up because somebody coughed in the wrong spot, and we're all masked and we all wash our hands and we all use hand sanitizer. And there is a chance we can contract this. So, I mean, and a great risk. And all I have to do is get it on my clothes. And about John Luderbaugh, I will say that, his mom called me that night. She was at the emergency room. She was hysterical. And I told her, look, I am at work right now. I cannot go. I am not going to put you at risk in these clothes. It would take an hour for me to prepare just to show up there, and something may have happened. So I started searching for people to go and sit with her while this process played itself out. I did what I could. Her son came in from Cleveland, all the way from Cleveland, like a bat out of hell, actually, and managed to get there as quickly as he possibly could. But I do want to say about John, I grew up with him. He was always into things like Superman and Star Wars, and he could recite things from his memory from when he was almost a baby, 1972, 1975. He was very good at storytelling, and he was very good at remembering memories and things that not all of us can do what he had the capability of doing. Even though he had muscular dystrophy, his mind was, oh my gosh, he would do incredible things. But he will be missed, with the condition that he was in, starting to degrade even more and even more over time, and his condition getting worse. I want to say that he's no longer in pain. He is no longer suffering. Things are better for him. He's with his family. He's with his loved ones. And I am pleased it was fast as opposed to slow, agonizing, and painful. He didn't deserve that. He was a good guy. You hope that towards the end that it's just like that, the snap of a finger, like that. And that's because he was such a calm, peaceful soul. And he loved the TV, he loved his Wii, he loved watching movies. And he was, it was just something that he was very fond of in his life. And he will be missed. Now, on to other news. My Facebook 30-day ban is the first one. Mark Zuckerberg, he can go eat a fatty. Yeah, he really can. A lot has happened over the last 30 days since I have been gone. And I want to explain a few things, okay? We have an election coming up, a critical election. Okay? And I'm not even going to get into the Bob Woodward tapes because that's a total catastrophe on the president's part. Not only has Trump committed crimes against humanity, he has committed crimes against the world at this point. Not just against humanity itself, the whole world. Okay? He has to be removed from office by any means necessary. You must vote. You must get out and vote. You must get up, you must do your job, and you must vote this time. Okay? I don't know about you, but the only people that got helped by Trump when he was in office for 4 years were his friends, his family, the corporations, Wall Street, and the banks. The people who have had to deal with the shutdowns from the coronavirus, they have had to deal with the pandemic. You've gotten one $1,200 check to see you through this catastrophe. One $1,200 check. Just one. Nothing else. And a whole lot of people didn't even get those. If you were some kind of a dependent of someone else, you didn't get one. So he cut people off of the rolls there. But the corporations got trillions of dollars. Wall Street was getting $1 trillion a day for God knows how long it was. They were getting $1 trillion a day so that the stock market would not crash, which technically it should have. You have a man in power who is a psychopathic, dictatorial, evil individual. And he has followers. This is the bad part. He has people who support him. Even though he has done the things that he has done, he has supporters, and they will vote. So you have to get up, and you have to go out and vote. And I realize that, before any of this all went down, the 30 days that I have been off, I was a Howie Hawkins supporter. I still am. But I realize what's going on. And I'm telling you right now, you need to vote for Joe Biden. You need to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I may not agree completely with their points of view, but that's what's there, okay? That's the other side of the poll. And I believe that Joe Biden can be pushed left. I believe he will add progressive legislation to his platform when he becomes president. I believe that these things will happen. I don't believe he's a complete corporatist pig, okay? I believe he's going to do some stuff for corporations. Yes, that's going to happen. All politicians do it. You've got to kiss the right butt cheek to get money. That's how Washington is. I'm sorry. It's a swamp. It's always been a swamp. And if you think Trump drained the swamp, no, he made it worse. Yeah, it's a whole lot worse than it used to be. Just ask a politician. They will tell you how much harder it is. Unless you're out there kissing the butt of the party that you're part of, you don't get elected. You don't get anywhere. You don't get on a committee. Yeah, you got to go out and you got to get the signatures. You got to go out and got to get the money. Right? That's how Washington works. It always has worked this way. It's worse than the Roman Senate. It always will be worse than the Roman Senate. Now, I have to say this. My family have been lifelong Democrats. Me, I'm the one that split off, and I have a more progressive attitude. I have a more progressive viewpoint. I believe that BLM and Antifa are doing the right things. Antifa is not an organized group. It's an organized set of principles. BLM, very similar to that, even though they try to paint it. Now, BLM is technically a group, Black Lives Matter, but they are not as monstrous as everyone makes them out to be, especially on the conservative media. You need to be paying attention to what's actually going on in a protest. Because the real BLM supporters are going to be peaceful. They're not going to be violent. They're not going to be doing things like setting fires. They're not going to be looting. They're not going to be destroying property. They're going to be peacefully protesting. And they're being painted by other people who infiltrate these groups and infiltrate these protests. And they're the ones doing the looting. They're the ones starting the fires. They're the one burning down this, that, or the other thing. And a whole lot of neo-Nazi supporters, Klan supporters, people like that have been arrested for doing these things at these protests. You need to be aware of this. And this is something that Facebook tries to censor me from saying. Because obviously Zuckerberg is in support of Trump and he's backing it. And I don't understand the whole thing myself either. I look at it as being, yikes, man, you're an idiot. And he is. Okay, the United States and the world are headed for a world of hurt in the fall and the winter. Because everyone is going to be closed up together throughout the winter months. This virus is going to spread. This virus is going to get worse. If you're listening to Dr. Fauci, and you should be, because this virus is only going to get more intense. It is going to wreak havoc. Okay, and you need someone who's not rushing a vaccine to the public. You don't know what this is going to do. The one in Great Britain had to be stopped or halted because somebody got sick inside that process, and they had to stop and wait to see what the sickness is. You can get a vaccine and it can cause a plethora of different things to happen within the body, and they need to make sure these things don't happen. And if Trump is rushing a vaccine to the table, I'm telling you not to take it right away. This stuff does take it takes time. This is a very difficult process to make a vaccine. It has to pass through peer groups. It has to pass through clinical trials. And if something happens in that clinical trial, the process is halted, like you have in Great Britain, where they have stopped the clinical trial because there is a potential risk. They want to know what the risk is, and they want to figure out what it does to you, and so on and so forth. And these vaccines that are being created in the United States to be released to the public have not gone through these major processes. You have to wait for them to go through these processes in order to be given to the public. And Trump is trying to rush it out so he gets more votes, when potentially the vaccine could actually kill people. So yeah, you really want to be careful with. Yeah, we already have a pandemic. We don't need to start another series of major issues. All right, and that's just the first thing. All right, and going to the Woodward tapes. Okay, this is I'm just going to share links. I'm not going to actually play anything for you. What I am going to tell you is that he knew, first and foremost, he knew. He downplayed it on purpose, even knowing, and he's using excuse after excuse after excuse to cover up the fact that he hid real facts from the American people. He hid real facts from the world, and he lied. Straight up lied. And that's not it. There are other tapes of him. His racist side is obviously alive and well, because now there's tapes that are racist in origin that are coming up as well from Woodward. So we have to wait to hear everything that's actually going on with that. But you need to be aware that these are a thing and they are a major concern. Some of the other things that have happened, of course, you know about our hero pay being cut off where I work, obviously. Yes, we're not important enough to receive hero pay anymore. And they did that way back a couple of months ago. I think I brought that up in another video that I had mentioned before. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, that's something that's got me pretty upset too. I mean, if we're not worth that, well, why are we? Yeah, the corporation we work for is making hundreds of millions of dollars because the pandemic basically gave them Christmas in March, April, and May, when everyone was hoarding everything that they possibly could, and the supply chain couldn't even keep up. The supply chain is still busted, by the way. Things are slowly coming back, but and there was an article I read yesterday about CSX, the train hauling corporation. They say that intermodal traffic is up, which is intermodal is basically the type of car they put onto a train with. That's what carries packages and orders and supplies, which means it is starting to come back. So we are starting to see the supply chain working more effectively. Whether it's coming from other countries, Lord only knows. All I know is that the intermodal traffic is actually ramping back up. So that's actually a good sign going into the fall and the winter and so on and so forth. It means things are actually starting to come back. Will they be at the levels that they were before the pandemic by the end of the year? Probably not. But you should expect that. You need people who are going to tell you the truth as much as they can, at least as best I can. I try to. And I'm telling you now, you should vote for Joe Biden, the Democratic candidate for President of the United States. You should not vote for Donald Trump, the Republican candidate. Now, I understand there's a lot of you out there who are upset about how Bernie Sanders was handled. I am too. I am pissed to my core. I am very upset about how that whole thing was handled. I am very upset with the Democratic choice for president. But I will tell you this. You have one coin with two sides. You have to pick the side that's going to help the people. And at this point, that's Joe Biden. You work on that second problem afterwards, after he's in office. And what I've been telling people to do is when you go and vote down ballot, vote to retake the Senate, vote to hold the House. Okay? And you can vote as progressive as you want for those people. Those are the people we need to change. The office of president isn't as important as you think it is. Okay? It's a figurehead position with the capability to declare war. Okay? Your real power is in the House and in the Senate. And it's in your state House and your state Senate. It's with your county and city councils. These are where you need to change the trend. This is where you vote progressive. And you change your city, you change your town, you change your county. Then you change your state and you change the federal government. If you start pushing more progressive people and voting for more progressive people, the government has to do what the progressives want eventually. It doesn't have a choice because that's the legislation that's going to come out. And that's what's going to go in the president's desk. That's what he will sign or veto. And you have a better chance of progressive views making a play if you vote for someone who is Democratic as opposed to Republican. Republican, he'll just shoo it off the desk and go, no, 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 no. There's no conservative views here, you know. You want people who are at least somewhat manipulatable. You want people who can be changed. Their mind can be changed. This is what you want. This is what we have on our plate. This is what we have to vote for. And Bernie Sanders has said himself, vote for Joe Biden, vote for Kamala Harris. So if you're a Sanders supporter, get out there and get it done and get rid of this orange monstrosity of the White House. Change this country for the better. I realize it's not the best dinner you're being fed on the plate. It isn't. Okay, but we have to work with what we have, and we have to change what we have to change. We don't have a choice right now. Do you want another 4 years during a pandemic, which this man is going to let go, and potentially have 1 million people die from it? We need someone in office who is going to turn around and say, look, okay, it is time that we pay attention to this, and we do what is necessary to fix it. This is a pandemic. This could have been a whole lot worse than what you have before you now. It could have been a whole lot worse. And you're fortunate it isn't. For India, they're screwed. And places like Brazil, they're screwed because their leaders are not doing the same thing. Okay? We have to change the trend. We have to repair the world. This is the United States of America, people. We have to fix our home. It's broken. And you need somebody in office who's going to do that, and I believe that person is Joe Biden. He has political experience. He has experience with the White House. He has executive branch experience, and he has congressional and Senate experience. Now, people are saying, I've seen his speeches as of late. People are saying, oh my gosh, he can't remember this. He has to read from a teleprompter. Show me what president's not reading from a teleprompter, please. Show me what leader is not. We know Trump is. All right, so for them to come out and attack the fact he reads from a teleprompter, they all have. Obama did it. Bush did it. Clinton did it. Clinton did a lot more than read from a teleprompter, but you know. But that's the office of president. All right, we have to make a fundamental change that's going to push things in the right direction, and the right direction is getting help for the people now. The people who need it. These small businesses, a lot of these small businesses would not be out of business if Trump had done his job instead of going and playing golf. He's out there golfing while people are dying. He's out there golfing while people are suffering. His own citizens are suffering. He's not there working on the problem. He's not there working to fix it. Okay? We need someone in there who is going to be in there and is going to fix it. I'm tired of this crap. Okay? I am a Sanders supporter. I will back him till the day I die. Which, because of this video, will probably be soon. But yeah, I have got to stand up for what I believe in. Now, I may not be Joe Biden's biggest fan, and I'm not. But I'm going to tell you straight up, we have to change things. And Howie Hawkins, I hate to say it, he's not going to get the votes that are necessary. He may get his 5%, which would please me to no end. I would be very happy if he got that. Because it puts the Green Party on the map. And they are progressives. And these are people who run in your cities and in your states and in your townships. These are people who, there are Green Party members who are on the ballot. I'm registered Green Party. Okay? So I am going to be voting for what I think is right now. And that is to make sure that the people get help right now. Okay? And if the country was more progressive and it leaned more towards voting for the Green Party, Howie Hawkins would have my vote in a heartbeat. He's got a good vice presidential pick, but so does Joe Biden. All right? I mean, I'm not thrilled, but I will do it. Why? Because I want to make sure that this time we don't make the same mistake we made last time. Because I think a whole lot of things would be way different if Hillary Clinton was president as opposed to Donald Trump. And I'm going to leave you with that thought because, yeah, 4 years ago, us progressives, we made a mistake. Now, it's not all on our plate. There were 91 million of you assholes who sat at home and didn't get up off your ass and vote, and this is why we have Trump. It didn't matter that we voted Green Party or Libertarian or some other party. It didn't matter. It's the 91 million people who sat at home and didn't vote. So get up off your couch potato ass, fill out a ballot, and make it count. And if you people have not taken the census yet, get out there and take the census too. I realize some of you don't want to be counted, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is how your cities and districts and states get allotted their congressional districts. This is how they get allotted money and funding. If you want funding for your town, township, or city, you have got to fill out this census. Because that's how money is allocated as well. If you have a certain number of people in your township or your state or your city, this is how the federal government delegates money out. And I don't know about you, but the city I live in, I want to see it improve. So I did the census. Everybody I know did the census. I've quizzed them and I've told them, get it done. Fill it out. All right? Now, I can't make this too long or Facebook is going to go, you cannot upload this. But I am back off of my 30-day ban. We'll see how long that lasts. There is an election coming up. They like to shut me up just before then, so I'll probably be in Facebook jail. I am on Twitter. My call sign is at Babylon151. That's BABYLON 151. You'll be able to find me under that. And you can follow there. Twitter has not banned me, even though I've said worse on Twitter than I say any time on Facebook. That's because Facebook is so watered down. It's so pussified is a good way to put it. But yeah, once again, I want to offer my condolences to the families of Leonard Pamela, John Luderbaugh, and Steve. I forgot his last name. Oh my God. Jackson. Steve Jackson. Yeah. Those are the three people that I lost during this 30-day ban. I could not say anything to anyone. And I want to thank everyone for their birthday wishes over my birthday. I was unable to say anything then as well. Thank you very much for all of the wonderful wishes that you offered and gave. I will try to thank all of you as I get back through the system, but it's going to take a couple of days for me to catch up to everything and to start making news-related posts again, which is what I do most of the time. But thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day.